Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for Love is Blind UK version. And we're only on episode 1, y'all. I only watched episode 1, so please do not spoil it for me down in the comments because you know I read all my comments, y'all, all of them. And I try to respond to everyone. So don't spoil the other episodes for me. I'm going to watch them one at a time and do reviews. But here we're hearing that right now for episode 1 because we got to talk about all of these lies, red flags, and desperation. Did y'all catch it? Did y'all catch all the lies, the red flags waving? The red flags were flagging, and the desperation going on. So let's just go ahead and start talking about it right away. So let's get started. Let's first start talking about Freddy. Freddy's good looking, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Freddy is good looking. And he walking around out here talking about how caring and kind he is and how he likes to give a lot of affection. I'm like, shoot, I know you're a funeral director and everything, but why are you single? He said his love life is dead. Dead. I don't know. I would think Freddie got a lot of women chasing after him. And I'm not just talking about the dead ones. All them funerals he be doing, all them people coming to that funeral, you don't think they trying to drop in the DMs of Freddie? We're going to have to learn a whole lot more about him because he got good looks going for him. He seemed to be saying all the right things. So let's see what else comes about with Mr. Freddie. But then you got Katherine who came along, 32, the dental nurse and the swimming coach. She just exudes, I just want to have fun. Everything coming out her mouth is about having fun. She needs to stay single and run the streets. That's what she needs to do. She acts like marriage is going to be a party every single day. It's just unrealistic. She's going to get disappointed in marriage. She really is going to get disappointed in marriage. She says she's the only daughter. Her parents are tired of her bringing home dweebs. They like, stop bringing home these dweebs because she probably bringing home party men because that's who want to be with her too because she's a party girl. Her and Ollie, 2 peas in a pod. That's what I believe. I believe they're both 2 peas in a pod. I think they're both probably a bit superficial. That's what I'm banking on right now. I'm banking on they're both a little bit superficial. Now, if Ollie could really see, and we're going to get to Demi, I think if he could really see, I think he would pick Katherine. That's who I think he would pick. He already said that he has a problem picking with his eyes and not picking with his head, not knowing the right thing to pick. But he's also a fun guy. Fun, footloose, what he like to do. Oh, let's go boxing. Let's do these types of things. I just don't I feel like these are nice people. So there's nothing wrong with the people. I think the point stands for what I'm coming from. Are they really ready for marriage? Or is their image of marriage not really what they're ready for? Which nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. If you don't have the mentality to be married or you're not ready for that life, then maybe you shouldn't get married. Just stay single. Maybe what you want is you just want like a steady girlfriend or boyfriend because you do want a companion. You want someone around. But the day in, the day out of being there for someone all the time, the routine, having kids, things that you have to do with that. Some of these people, I feel like they're not, the life they're describing is not the life of like married with kids. They're describing the life of a single person, but you just have a person who you're married to. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit confused, but all Katherine and Ollie talk about is they want to have fun stuff. They want to have a good time. They want to be able to go out. Both of them are big flirts. Ollie is a big flirt, and so is Katherine. Then we got Demi over here. Demi already fallen in love with Ollie from the very first episode. Good Lord, Demi girl, you did too much, too soon. Way too soon. And, there go Ollie again when he first met Demi. What you like to do when you step out? She's like, I like to train. I play football, which I guess, is soccer in the UK. And she likes to talk trash. She's competitive. So Demi's like this athlete. She likes to box. She likes to play football. You can tell she's very competitive. And then later on, when you see her with Katherine, lying to Katherine, not really telling Katherine how much she really likes Ollie. And then next thing you know, she telling Ollie, you my person after one episode. But then she's sitting over here lying to Katherine, telling Katherine, no, I'm not really into him that much. He's cool and all. like he's a homie. Girl, Demi, you over here lying, so you can snag this man Ollie. You already in competition mode. I guess we're gonna have ourselves a love triangle. I guess this is gonna be a repeat, almost like the love triangle we had in seasons before on Love Is Blind. Love Is Blind is starting to get predictable because they're starting to create the same scenarios you see in other versions of Love Is Blind, which is starting to tell me, is this getting a little bit contrived, right? Is it organic, or are you guys at Love Is Blind doing a little bit too much producing? Because this little rivalry that's going on with Demi and Katherine, what I don't understand is I understand that you both want the same guy. Fine, that's going to happen. You're in the pods. You're in this small group. What I don't understand is how the heck did Demi and Katherine become good friends so fast? So fast. Now you became good friends with the very lady who you're going to be in competition with for the same man. And now you sitting over here, Demi, lying to her, not really telling her how much you like him. But then on the other hand, you going up to him by the end of the episode talking about you, my person. Girl. Then she ends up getting rejected by him in the end. That was sad. It was too quick, too fast. Really, really, really too quick, too fast. And part of me thinks now that Demi's no longer just evaluating Ollie. She just wants to beat Katherine. And that's the thing about competitive people. In the end, they just want to beat you. They just want, sometimes they don't even really care, but they just want to beat you. And I think that's where Demi's going now, that really she just wants to beat Katherine. And Katherine going to be a fierce competitor because she got some little nasty words she be talking about. She got some nasty word because when Ollie came back in from the pods to the group and she was all excited and elated, Katherine looked at her like, girl, get out of here. She don't really like her. She don't really like her. Ollie said he's picking up on the sexual vice of Katherine. That's what Catherine's going to lead with. The sex, the sexiness, the vixen kind of stuff. And then Demi's going to lead with the friend. I can be your best friend. We can play sports together. We can box together. But Catherine's not that Catherine's not athletic. She says she likes to swim. She does kickboxing. So she's athletic too. I just think that I don't know who Ollie's going to choose, if he's going to choose Katherine or if he's going to choose Demi or someone else. But I want to tell you right now that if Ollie chooses Demi and when they get revealed in the pods, he's not going to like her because I think he's superficial. And it's not that I don't think that Demi's good looking, but I think he's going to want the va-va-vam of a Katherine. I think he wants that in real life. That's probably his problem out here dating now because he's not really a serious guy. I don't really think Ollie is a serious guy. I think he's out here to have fun and he's looking at the marriage not to really settle down. That's why it's called settling down in marriage. You actually settle down. I think Ollie wants to keep it ramped up. He just wants a girlfriend that he doesn't have to continue dating other people, but he's still ready to be out here in these streets. He can be out there. And this whole little friendship, frenemies is really what's going to turn into between Demi and Katherine hugging and, putting their head on each other's shoulders. This is ridiculous. So soon. So soon. I think this was contrived by the producers. I really do believe it. And then we got Sabrina. She's a marketing director. She says, well, I'm sure I am Miss Independent, don't need a man. And then she's crying over her granny dying and, how she's got to come home to an empty house. So she must live with her grandmother. But, she starts talking to this guy, Steve, who's the gym owner. This is what I don't get. Did y'all watch my video last week when I started talking about the trailer? Sabrina was one of the people on the trailer talking about what she was looking for. And in that trailer, I actually made a comment that Sabrina kept mentioning family, family, family. She wants family, family, family. Family is very important. She wants a guy who's close to his family and to his friends. Then she gets on here and says she don't really want no kids. Girl. So you don't want to build a family, Sabrina? You want people to be tied to their family, but you don't also want to build a family? I don't know. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with her not wanting kids. That's okay. Or not sure if she wants kids. That's actually okay. But it's weird that she would stress family, but then want to kind of snag a man that doesn't really want kids too much. right? That's what she said at first. So let me get to one of the first lies, and this was one of them, because when she finally told Steven that she's okay without having kids, Steven took it the exact way he should have taken it, which is she doesn't really want kids, more than likely. Okay. And then once Sabrina knew that she got a bad reaction from Steven and it was radio silence in the room, she left and she came back, and she came back with a compromise. Well, I'm willing to do a surrogate, or I'm willing to adopt. Girl, that was the compromise she made just so she can keep Steven on the hook. Just so she can keep Steven on the hook. She tried to say it was all about, well, I'm 35 now, and I may not even be able to have children. You 35. If you guys really want to have kids, you're 35. You could meet, you could start having kids at 36, 37. What's the problem? Why would you just throw that away and automatically jump to surrogacy and, adoption? Because she doesn't really want to have children, and all she did was throw that dog a bone, which is Steven. She threw him a bone to keep him on the hook. She threw that fish some bait to keep him on the hook, because Steven pretty much made clear that he wants children. But in the end, Sabrina don't want no kids. You could even see the way that she conducts, she kind of represents herself in the pods. Sabrina wants to be DINK. Wasn't that the new acronym out here? DINK, D-I-N-K, dual income, no kids, which is no problem, but that's what she's shooting for. So that was a lie. I'm going to call it a lie, that she really does want to have like surrogacy and all that. Because she sat out there on that trailer, started talking about family, family, family. So Sabrina, I'm sorry to say, I am putting Sabrina in the liar category, because she's really misrepresenting who she is. And at this moment, she just wants to be chosen. She just wants to be chosen. She says she's adventurous, she's spontaneous, she's considerate. Well, there you go. Once you have kids, girl, you ain't going to be able to be that spontaneous. That's why she don't want no kids. She doesn't want any kids. They have things in common. They said they like to meditate. They love to do their gratitude journals. That's good. That's nice. But if Steven wants to have kids, that's a big one. That is a big one. So I don't know if these two are going to get together, but I can say right now, if they do get together, if they do make it, Steven's going to learn that Sabrina really doesn't want to have kids. And all she's going to do is keep putting off kids longer and longer and longer and longer. Longer and longer and longer and longer. Because she doesn't really want to have them. She wants to stay spontaneous. She wants to focus on herself. And like she said, she's independent. She doesn't really need a man. So she just missing her grandma. She missing her grandma. So she may be out here trying to fill a hole in her heart that her grandma has left. Maybe that's what's going on. Another person out here lying, Nicole. I said it. Nicole and Sam. Nicole and Sam. Both of them liars. They first got into the pods. Sam, good Lord, he definitely... What is the male version of a pick-me? We always out here calling women pick-meshas and pick-me's and all this other kind of stuff. What is Sam? Because Sam is saying whatever he needs to say to be chosen. Whatever he needs. And Nicole picked up on it. Good for Nicole. Good for Nicole that she picked up on that Sam was saying whatever he needed to say in order to be chosen. He said he's one big silly kid. But I think Sam's emotions, y'all, are all over the place. And I think that's what drives women away. I think Sam has really, really high emotions. And sometimes they just go all over. Because he had a lot of anxiousness. It was almost like he wanted to close the deal right away. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the next person that proposes to some woman. If he can make a connection. If Sam can make a connection to some woman, I bet he going to propose real soon. Because he's anxious. He is very anxious. And instead of really talking about who he is, I feel like he talks and says a lot of things he wants women to hear. And Nicole called it out. She did say, hey, you know what? You're making me kind of afraid because it sounds like you're saying just things that you want me to hear, but I don't trust it. Her instincts were right. But the part that was getting me with Nicole is how she got over here and got all into Benaiah, the landscaper who told you he was a nomad. He was a nomad. He said, well, I'm not homeless, but I do couch surf. This man said he's running around sleeping in people's houses that probably he does work for them. He's like the labor that stays on the property. He's a nomad. Is this the life you really want to live, Nicole? I don't think it is. Like Nicole said, she's corporate. Does Nicole really want to live this nomad life, jumping from house to house, living in the back guest house, doing the landscaping with Benaiah? The Benaiah don't want to settle down. He don't even want to cut his hair. This is why I'm saying about Nicole, she's giving off a bit of desperation, a desperation to whoever someone's going to choose her to. And I think right now with Benaiah, I think she looks at him as low-hanging fruit. Oh, he's going to be easy to catch because he's a nomad. He darn near homeless, ain't got nowhere to go. He's sweet. He's kind. He says all the nice things. He was on that trailer too. I liked his answers because they were flowery and they were things of substance. So I like that about Benaiah. But the part about Benaiah is, can you build a life with him? Unless you're willing to be this nomad person also, then can you join with a Benaiah? And I would say Nicole can't. Nicole is, what does she do? I think she's a brand manager or something. She's completely corporate. She doesn't live a life where she can kind of be this, float from place to place with Benaiah. And that's what Benaiah wants to do. He said he doesn't really want to be in any one place too long. He said it. He said what he wants. Nicole's not a good fit for Benaiah. She really isn't. She may like the description, like it's a fantasy world, but can it be her reality? No, she can't live there forever. Maybe she can go on a vacation with him for a month and they could travel the world and hitchhike and, do all this stuff that Benaiah wants to do. But long term, on a family marriage level, this ain't what she wants. She says she's big on family. No. Sam said that he was big on family. And Nicole said, she said something interesting. She said she believed that you choose your family. So I think what she was trying to mention is that she's not really close to all her family, which is okay. Like I talked about in my earlier video, sometimes family's toxic. You need to get away from them. But she was saying that she believes that you can choose your family. I would want to know, is she close to anyone? Because if she hasn't learned how to develop a close bond with anyone, then that would be a red flag to me. So maybe in a lot of ways she is attracted to this life of Benaiah, because it doesn't mean you're tied down in any one place. Because when you're close to people, then you want to stay close to them. You see what I'm saying? When you're really close to people, do you really want to be off on the world, traveling the whole world by yourself for 20 days or 30 days? No, because you'll miss that closeness with your family. People who are really like sort of codependent or close, they're like, well, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to be always traveling from here to here, a whole different kind of places, because you want to be close to your friends and family. So that's why I'm telling you right now that I think maybe Nicole is attracted to Benaiah's lifestyle because it may be a lifestyle in one part that attracts her, because you're not really in one place, having to be stuck there. But then when I look at maybe what she does and what her real life is like, she's no match for Benaiah. So Nicole needs to be a little bit more truthful with herself about who she is. She really, really does. They switch back and start talking about Steven and Sabrina again, and they start talking about how they want someone to grow with. They want to do new adventures. They want to go out and do their own thing without any kids. So I don't know what's going to give here. Either Sabrina's going to, I guess, have her surrogacy or her adoption, or Steven's going to have to decide he doesn't want any kids, which I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to want, like he said, he wants a seed. Sabrina says she wants a man with some confidence. When everybody sees him, they see confidence in him too. He said, I'm confident to wear these Speedos. Sabrina's like, ugh, I don't like that. Sabrina didn't like the answer, but she sure didn't let him know, because once again, she just wants to probably be chosen. She just want to be chosen. I'm picking up on it already. At the end of the show, when he finally did ask her to marry her, they left us with a cliffhanger. Does she say yes? Does she say no? Which here's the thing. The way that she was talking, it sounds like she was about to say no. But maybe that was just the cliffhanger, because maybe in the end she's going to say yes, right? Because I think she wants to be chosen. So I think she's going to say yes. But I think the hesitation was because one is she believes it's too soon, because Sabrina's a thinker and she knows it's too soon. But what she doesn't want to do is say no and then not get chosen. So right now, I feel like Sabrina, if she says yes, she's just going to say yes so she can get chosen, because she really shouldn't be with Steven. They disagree on one of the fundamental cornerstones of marriage. Do you agree on whether or not you want to have children? And they disagree. That should be a turn away and go away right there. Right. Turn away and go away right away. But a lot of these people on here now, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if love is blind, because it's so popular now. You're getting people on here who now it's really not about getting married. It's about just getting to the second part of the show and getting out of the pods. And to get out of the pods, you got to get proposed to. So what you do now, as opposed to really trying to get to know your partner in the pods, you just want to get chosen, and then you want to use these next 4 weeks to get to know your partner. That's why we're going to end up with not a lot of couples staying together, because these couples were supposed to use the pods to really get to know each other. And instead, what these couples are doing, they're doing just like the dating world. They're presenting their best self. They're not really presenting their real self, because now their goal is not to really get to know a person. Their goal is to get chosen. And that now means your representative here. Sabrina's representative is front and center. Front and center. Then they started introducing Jasmine. She said she's been single for 3 years. She's a mental health nurse. And she told the whole story about her boyfriend cheating on her, and he had a baby with a whole nother woman. Woo! That right there, that is a lot going on. She said she's exhausted, and what she wants a stabilizing man in her life. So then she started analyzing Sam. She said, I want a stabilizing man in my life, but she starts listening to Sam, and she realized Sam is all over the place. Girl, if you are really a mental health nurse, you have to see the chaoticness of Sam. If you don't pick up on how chaotic Sam is, and you're a mental health nurse, you need to go back to school. She was questioning him a lot, because Sam started talking about people on the IG think he not serious and he just want to run the streets. And Jasmine was like, well, why would they get that impression? He was like, because I be taking my shirt off because I work out and look good. I want everybody to see it. Oh, he said, but I'm really a family man. Then make your IG talk about how you a family man. This is so crazy. Really, IG is supposed to talk about who you are. But instead, what Sam is saying is, I'm not really the person who you see on IG. I'm another person. Well, why don't you put that person on IG? Why are you on there trying to get bait a different kind of way? If what you're trying to attract is a woman who wants a family and to settle down, why is your IG full of pictures in which you said all that attracts are people who want to have fun? This doesn't even make any sense. I mean, isn't your IG supposed to represent where you are and where you're trying to go? Sam is all over the place. I hope no one chooses Sam. Really, no one ought to choose Sam. Then Jasmine had to sit down with Bobby, the cruise ship luxury guy on a cruise ship. He says, yeah, I was in Mexico. I'm adventurous. I was in Mexico for 5 months. And I'm up here thinking he was living in Mexico, really adventurous. Next thing you know, he said, no, because he works on a cruise ship. That's not the same thing, Bobby. That's your job. That is your job. Does Jasmine really want a husband that's away on a cruise ship for 5 months at a time? Jasmine, is that what you want? You just said that you were suspicious of a man because your last boyfriend cheated on you and had a whole baby on you. Can you handle your husband being on a cruise ship with a bunch of other women on the cruise ship and he's gone for 5 months, Jasmine? Really? Is this what you're about to sign up for? Do you really think you should be interested in Bobby. It's not a good match, Jasmine. You already PTSD from your last relationship, and now you're about to go into a relationship with a person who's not physically going to be there with you, which requires a whole high level of trust. So you just come out of a relationship where you might be dealing with trust, and the next thing you know, you're going to get with a man who's on a cruise ship for 5 years in exotic places like Mexico with a whole lot of other women. Oh, Jasmine. Jasmine, if you choose Bobby, bad decisions. Bad. Like I said, desperate. Desperate. These people just want to be chosen. Just want to be chosen. You know, when they came back on, Nicole was with Benaya again. Next thing Benaya start talking about is he likes a level of escapism. That's why he likes to travel. Escapism, that's not a cornerstone of marriage. You can't escape marriage. Oh my gosh. Why are these people even here to get married? And you're using words like I like to have escapism. Where are you going to go if you're married? That's not even a cornerstone of marriage. Unbelievable. Nicole talked about she envisions a life, a free and liberating life. Unless you got a whole lot of money, Nicole, then you got to do like everybody else. You got to work. Benaya is Nicole's fantasy. That's who Benaya is to Nicole. Nicole's fantasy life she would like to live, travel the world. It's a lot of people's fantasy to travel the world, but Benaya is not the reality. He's really not the reality. I hope they don't choose each other. I hope they don't choose each other. Oh, and Lord, I got to go back to this little sad story that Steven told Sabrina. Now, talk about lies. Here was another lie. Here was another lie. And I want to see, did y'all catch this lie? This lie was when Steven was telling the story of his girlfriend that had cancer. I know it was a sad story. But I really want you guys to listen to this story. Well, Steven is saying that he was in love with a woman that he wanted to marry, which meant that if he wanted to marry her, there's a good chance she wanted to marry him. They were in love. They wanted to get married. The woman then becomes diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately. Steven says she then breaks up with him. What? Okay. I don't believe the story. Let me tell you something. If you have a man, women, if you have a man and you're in love with that man, and that man is your whole world, he's doing everything for you. He's the most kind, generous, just loving husband, loving boyfriend at the time you could ever ask for. He's willing to go through with you the journey of cancer. He's willing to hold your hand. He's willing to take care of you. He's willing to do everything that he needs to do because he loves you. And then what you say is when you know you're about to go through one of the hardest points in your life, which would be battling cancer, you say to that man, you know what? I don't have time to deal with you. I need to just take care of myself. What? You wouldn't say that because you would know that you're going to need someone. And why wouldn't you rely upon this person that you love? See, what I think is that Steven was none of those things to that woman. And when that woman said, I'm just going to focus on myself, if she said that, it's because Steven wasn't an asset to her. But what I believe maybe more so is the fact that Steven couldn't deal with her cancer. And he couldn't be there for what she needed during the cancer. And because he couldn't be there, she started getting frustrated in the relationship. And the frustration of Steven not showing up made her say, hey, I'm just going to focus on myself because right now I don't have time to focus on me and also be worried about the fact that you're not showing up for me. So we just need to go ahead and break up because I don't have no time to have my heart aching over you and my heart aching over this cancer. That's what I believe. So that's why I'm going to call Steven a liar. I'm going to call it a lie because, and I don't even know why he told the story, which makes me even more suspicious of Steven because you never had to tell this story. So you took a story about a girl, your ex having cancer, and you turned it around to be about the fact that you were the victim. You were the victim because you got left by a woman with cancer. That's manipulative. And I don't believe the story. I don't believe the story at all. And why would you bring the story up? because you wanted to present yourself to Sabrina as this empathetic, kind, caring person. And I don't think Steven is that. I actually think Steven and Sabrina are kind of the same. I think they're very cerebral. I think they're very calculating. I bet they're going to have a lot of arguments. I think they're going to have some vicious fights. Let me say it right here in season 1. I think Sabrina and Steven going to have some vicious fights and vicious words, because I think Sabrina can dish it out. And I think that Steven is not as sweet and kind as he says he is. Because that story he told was a lie. So he went way out of his way to tell a lie, to make himself seem like the victim of being left by a cancer woman. How can you be the victim in a story when a woman got cancer? You can't never be the victim. Goodness gracious, Steven. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Then you got Katherine and Freddy. They came back to Katherine and Freddy. They all vibing because, their parents and grandparents' names are the same name. But I hope it ain't the same grandparents. Wouldn't that be wild if they had the same grandparents and didn't even know it? I'm sure that's not the case. But Katherine over here doing a whole lot of crying. A whole lot of crying. I know right now she's between Ollie and Freddy. But if she saw Freddy, she would choose Freddy. Woo! If Katherine really saw what Freddy looked like, she would choose a Freddy in a heartbeat. A heartbeat. But she liked to flirt with Ollie. Ollie the type of guy where I bet he in the club all the time. All the time. All the time. She probably would like Ollie too. She would flirt with him too. I think Katherine's just a big flirt. She probably flirt with everybody. Is there a man that Katherine wouldn't want to flirt with? As long as he's good looking. As long as he's good looking. But we'll see. We'll see if Ollie ends up going with Katherine and does he end up going with Demi. Demi over here talking about how would you handle me when I'm snappy and got a bad attitude, because I think she can get one too. Because let me tell you, that little nastiness speech she gave about Katherine when she says, I got to choose myself. And why I need to be looking out for somebody else. It will ruin my chance. Well, stop being friends with her. That is exactly what you need to do, Demi, is look out for yourself. But here's where I got a problem. Why you all up underneath Katherine, putting her head on your shoulder, but then you turn around talking about, I don't need to care about her and her feelings. I need to care about me. I need to win. Because like I said, she's competitive. That means you're kind of dishonest. Nothing's wrong with you saying you want Ollie. That's fine. This is a competition. This is, everybody's dating each other. But then on the other hand, start to act like you all friends with Katherine and you out here looking out for her best interest. Nah. Demi a bit of a snake. I don't like that type of game plan. She over here talking about we cool. But then on the backhand, she over here lying, talking about she's not here to hurt no friends, but she needs to put herself first. Well, be honest. Be honest. Maybe when Demi's talking about she hurts friends a lot, maybe it's because she lies to her friends. Maybe she's not honest about who she really is. She says she needs a lot of reassurance, so maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe there's some self-doubt, insecurity she needs to have, but that's what I'm thinking. You people over here in the pods, and they're not really showing you who they are. So as a result, I bet they're going to all choose a lot of real wrong people. Because they're not really being who they are. They're just trying to win. Demi's just trying to win Ollie. She don't even really know that much about him. And she already telling him he's her person. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. So they left us with a cliffhanger with Steven and Sabrina. I guess my guess is going to be that Sabrina's going to say yes because she want to be chosen. But is this a good match? Nope, it's not. And I'm ready for the fights because there's going to be some fights between Steven and Sabrina because that little manipulative story that Steven told me a lot about him too. Told me a lot about him. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Let me know what you think down in the comments and I'll talk to you later. Bye.